I don't think there's a scene that we're not together. That in itself is like the greatest bonding, is because we get to hang out every single day together. I'm Henry Golding, and I play Freddy Alvarez in the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Gus March Phillips, I have a mission I want you to lead. Thank you, Sergeant.
What's the plan?
To neutralize the German U-boats in the North Atlantic.
Can you tell us a little bit about Freddy and the role that he plays?
Yes, so Freddy is he's kind of like the demolition expert. He's the saboteur. So he's the one who kind of goes on people's ships, or he goes behind enemy lines, and he sort of lays the groundwork for causing as much disruption as possible. And he comes in handy quite a bit in this movie. And so anything with a big bang, that was Freddy. Yeah.
What kind of training and preparation did you have to do in order to get all of that moving at the right times?
I mean, the good thing about those types of explosives, where you stick them on, you twist the thing, and then you let it go. If it was much more practical, obviously the timing would have had to been perfect. And so someone like Freddy Alvarez would have had all the math in his head as to the escape plan, when these explosives need to go off, when the distractions need to go off. So I would have that in my mind, but in practicality, whilst filming, it was kind of like, and then I'd sort of go off and set the other one.
Freddy is one of few characters that was actually specifically created for the film. So what was it like kind of building him with Guy Ritchie and slotting him into this team?
Yeah, you know, the wonderful thing is with Guy is that whatever you think your character is, on the first day of shoot, it's guaranteed to change. So you can only come as prepared as you can, but know that things will be changed up. So for me, I had this base of my grandfather was in the the British Royal Navy back in the day. And so I always had him in mind and kind of thought to myself, you know, what would he be experiencing? What would he be doing? But there's great stories of, you know, Alex Pettifer came to set and he had his character in mind. He was the strategist and sort of the map reader. And after the first or second take, Guy sort of like comes on set and is like, Alex, you know, the accent's not quite there. I think we need to posh him up a bit. And so changed his accent completely. And for a character and for an actor, your accent is who you've been speaking with, that voice in your head for months. And so for him to sort of like switch that up takes a certain type of actor to be able to sort of like to manage that, especially with guys. So yeah, it's fun though.
What was it like building this chemistry when you got to set? Was there some sort of like bonding process for the Ungentlemen before you got to start?
You know, it was, I don't think there's a scene that we're not together. That in itself is like the greatest bonding, is because we get to hang out every single day together. We eat lunch together, we eat dinner together, we're joking around all day long. So you can't get a faster and quicker bond than being stuck at the hip for these guys for like 3.5 months.
What was it like to, I guess, embody this Asian character in this historical event? And did that weigh on you at all as you were filming this movie? Or was it more of just like, this is a really cool action movie that I get to do?
Yeah, you know, I really thought Freddy Alvarez was, you know, down in Malaysia, we have an area called Malacca. And Malacca was predominantly sort of settled by Portuguese. And so there's a lot of Rodriguez or Alvarez in Malaysia. So I kind of built that into my character a little bit. It was great to be sort of Asian and an Asian character, but it was never sort of harped on. You know, it was never kind of like, oh, that's the Asian guy, or this. It was always just distinctly like people, Freddy Alvarez, it's such a strange name. But I mean, the roots are from Malaysian Malacca. And so that I was really, really proud of.
I know you also shot on location in Turkey, which looked absolutely beautiful. So what was it like shooting on the water, shooting on these huge practical sets along the coast?
I think we had like the biggest set in sort of Europe at that point, because we took over an entire harbor, and from one end of the harbor to the other, you could just see it just stretched for pretty much like a kilometer. And the amazing set builders built this beautiful Fernando Po sort of port. And so filming on that on set, it's like mind-blowing. we got those amazing scenes set at nighttime. So we were working nights quite a lot, but seeing the explosions, having the gunfire, running around covertly, it was such a great memory.
So many of the later scenes in the movie have so many moving parts. And so what was it like blocking with all the extras, with everyone that's kind of fighting right next to each other?
Yeah, I mean, you have to sort of break it down to bite-sized pieces, right? We had the most amazing team, and guys worked with them for the longest time. So everybody knows their role, from crowd control to the stunt guys to the explosive experts to us to and guys, the orchestra, to all of that.
Do you have any favorite memories or stories from one of those big action sequences?
I think we all sort of loved the ending of the Nazi camp, where we sort of go and save Appio. And there's like this huge explosion, which we knew was going to be big, but we didn't realize how large it was. But I remember we're all going to look sort of like direct, and heroes don't look back at explosions. So we were all going that way, and I was like, I'm going to smoke a pipe and look really cool and carry my bag. But literally this thing goes off, and I'm just like, I'm like trying to feel if I'm like on fire. Like as soon as we walk off the camera, everybody's like touching themselves. It was a big explosion.
This movie has such a great blend of history, of action, of comedy. So what do you kind of hope that people take away from it?
I think people should take away the fact that this is sort of a movie that's not a superhero movie. It's a massive action, tongue-in-cheek, Guy Ritchie sort of spectacular, phenomenal kind of mission to undertake, and one that is so detrimental to World War II. I'm telling you, you have to watch Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare at the theaters, because it's out right now and it's going to blow you away.